Good morning, this is Mayayo speaking for one more review of trail running shoes at trailrunningspain.com. Now, today we are checking on Olympus 3, that is the third iteration of what is arguably the most cushioned shoe in the market for trail running, including with this new third iteration, the rocky cracks, snow, and whatever. Now, its numbers, the tech specs would be retail sales price officially set around €135 per Europe, basically the same in dollars for the States. Weight of 326 grams. All right, I mean for your generic 9.5 size, more or less. And a drop of 0, of course, we're talking Altra, which is by definition a zero drop company with its natural running philosophy. As you know, just for those of you who are not familiar with Altra, let's say that it was a brand born in the Utah mountains, in the Wasatch Range, which is in fact moving out to Denver over next year as it was bought out by BCF, the owner of the North Face. And it has grown dramatically all over the world. And within its catalog, it blends running shoes and trail shoes and everyday shoes. Now, this is the most cushioned shoe for trail running. Part of the family for trail running would be the Timp, which is 29.29 versus the 36 millimeters here. And then below the Timp, you would have the Superior, which is 21.21. And finally, the King MT 1.5, which is 18.18. Now, please note that 18 for your forefoot cushioning with the King is the average for most of the trail running shoes in the market. So when we run with the Olympus, we are having twice as much cushioning as a standard trail running shoe, but with basically just about the same weight. So that calls for a very demanding design, both in terms of the grip, which is in this case relies on vibrant mega grip, which are redesign of the sole, quite a classic. The perimeter lags to support us when forced support or any twists, and the central lags to ensure smooth transition from landing to takeoff, together with these these grooves up here, and the claw design, classic of Altra, resembling the natural claw of an animal as to grasp. Now, if we take a look upon the midsole and the cushioning, which is, in my opinion, what truly makes this suit different, you will note that it's a blend of different 4 different pieces coming together with different densities. Of course, this part is the softest, back at your heel. So for all of you heel strikers, it will come easier when you hit the ground. And these parts are, let's say, standard, so soft, standard. And this central red part is acting as a stabilizer of sorts, as a chassis that will ensure that your shoe is balanced and takes part of the strain out of the constant balancing and ups and downs and twists that comes with the trails. Now, the other part, which is very special about the tech specs of this shoe, is the width of the sole. Now, remember, cushioning is not only about how high you are, the stack height, but also how wide it is. A wider sole, of course, allows for more cushioning and stability than a narrower sole. However, a narrower sole provides for a more agile ride and a more precise stepping when on rocks. So it's neither good nor bad. It's just being aware of what we've got here. So we've got a great rider over the long miles, which is also very reliable on the rocks because of one, the sole, two, the chassis with the midsole and different densities, and three, the revamped and redesigned upper, which is completely different of what we had before. The former Olympus was very smooth, but had no reinforcements out of here, Olympus 2. And with all this reinforcement, what happens is that the moment we put our feet, we plant it in there, and we lock, the shoe gets narrowly gripped, and it gives plenty of confidence together with a heel that truly locks in, and you feel very, very confident on it, while at the same time you still retain that white sole toe box, which is part of the brand. As you see here, it's called the foot shape toe box, and together with the zero drop, it's the quinta essential ultra philosophy for any of their shoes. Last but not least, for all of us that are to endure 3 to 4 months of snow on our hometown when we run, we've got the gator trap up here and back here, which is very, very light gaiters from Altra that can be put on it and taken up fast and smooth, and in my experience have proved quite reliable as well. So just for you to realize how much this shoe has changed, let's check versus the original Olympus 2. Okay, as you see, not a terrible change down at the sole. However, yes, there is a significant change as the heel has been widened substantially. I mean, we are talking almost 1 centimeter. Remember that now the Olympus is 11.5 up here and 10 at the back. This is very, very wide. Whereas our previous Olympus was 11.5 and 8.7. This was, let's say, an almost average width. Let's say the average would be around 11 and 8.5 or 10, 8.5, 8, something like that. But this is an oversized heel to provide far more stability when taking on tricky terrain. So that's one major point. Second major point, which is very obvious, is the midsole. As you see, completely different ball game, and the chassis has gone diagonal versus the longitudinal previous one, so as to be better in stabilizing us when we do. But last and not least, and in fact the most important factor, this was a sleek, very breathable, very comfortable upper. However, I mean, when you go into the rocks and you're constantly twisting and pounding up, down, left, right, you truly appreciate to have some extra support. So it's not your technique or your muscles that take on all that load. And this has been achieved. Now we do have that reinforcement. So quite a change between Olympus 2 and Olympus 3, right? Basically trying to keep it as trustworthy and reliable a long runner, but changing its soul into not only a forest road runner, but also a rock climber of sorts. Obviously, you would need a narrower sole to be a true scrambler. It's not a scrambler, but it will be very, very useful when coming upon the occasional rock stretch and rock climb. Now we're going to put it to the test and share our results as usual at trailrunningspain.com. Also at our YouTube.com channel, which is youtube.com/moxigeno, as it sounds. You've got an English playlist specifically for those of you English speakers. You also have a Spanish playlist. And in case you are interested in other of our reviews, Just Google up Ultra Running Mayayo, double Y, and you'll find it. Or Trail Running Shoes Reviews by Mayayo, and Google will find it. You know, Google knows almost everything. So, well, see you out in the trails from Colorado to the Alps at the next 2 trips that we've got planned to test these shoes at Pikes Peak Marathon first, and then at Ultra Trail Mont Blanc in Chamonix. See you there. Goodbye.